one thing I had with this film inherently was trust, and that's the biggest hurdle when making a documentary.
Hello.
This call is from a federal prison.
Here.
Hello, Mom.
I love you, princess.
And do you know why Mommy's there?
The kids that lived with her were doing bad things, and that's why she's there, because she was actually with those kids.
So basically, I lived in the home. I didn't sell these drugs. I didn't buy these drugs. I'm the girlfriend. Any crimes that he committed while we lived together, I was charged with.
Hi, Rudy. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good, good. Thank you. So, Rudy, did you ever think this documentary was going to reach such a large platform?
No, I this has all come as a complete surprise to me. Even the way I shot it and the way I made it, this was never in my head. It was always this film I was making for my family. I made them a promise that if they were open and honest with me and allowed me to tell their story, I would make something good and something honest, and that was always what was driving it. So this has all just been amazing.
But talking about that, going back to the beginning, was it a conscious choice to shoot the documentary after Cindy was sentenced, or was it more an organic thing that started to happen and then it took life of its own?
Yeah, it was completely organic. This started by me just filming the girls because I wanted my sister to be able to watch them grow up. I knew that she would have phone calls and she would be able to see pictures, but I wanted her to watch them live and run and cry and fight, all those things. And there was one scene in particular that, it wasn't even, I shouldn't even call it a scene, but when I flew back to film her oldest daughter's dance recital, I happened to be there, and Cindy happened to call completely organically, and she says this line to her daughter, and she says, "Do you know what Mommy's gonna do while you go to dance? I'm gonna lay down in my bed, I'm gonna close my eyes, and I'm gonna think about you." And that's when this became a film. That's when I became a filmmaker.
Wow.
And that's what has driven this, because I had an opportunity to tell another side of this story, a side that you don't normally get to see, and that's the people left behind, the children left behind. So that's what motivated it.
But did you feel that the responsibility or the weight of telling your own family stories, because you couldn't detach emotionally from it as a filmmaker?
Yeah, I think, like I said, I wasn't a filmmaker when I started this, so I dove headfirst into filmmaking when I decided to make this a documentary. So I started working on other people's projects, and one thing I had with this film inherently was trust, and that's the biggest hurdle when making a documentary. So on the other films, the other documentaries I was working on, I was a PA and I was a sound mixer, and I built up this career on this other end, but my film was helping me on that side as well, in the sense that I understood the responsibility and the weight of somebody trusting you with their story, because I saw it with my family, and I realized, if this ever becomes a film, my family is going to have to deal with this for the rest of their life, or have this be a part of their life for the rest of their life. So that's a lot of responsibility on a filmmaker, on a documentary filmmaker. So I've taken that to all of my projects. It's as much as I've worked on these other films to make this, like, this film has really shaped me as a filmmaker more than anything.
Right.
Because I understand the weight that goes along with it. So I've learned so much.
There is also something that your mother said in the piece that touched me very deeply, and it's that when Cindy was locked up, also all the members of the family were locked up.
Yeah.
Do you feel the same way, or how would you describe it?
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I was trying to get across in this, is that we have all of these people that we're sending away for these long, crazy sentences for first-time nonviolent offenses, and we never take into consideration the ramifications of that. The other people doing the sentence, the families that are left behind, and what that does, and the ripple effect that it has, not only on families but communities. And I wanted to show that. I wanted to show the time and what that does.
And why do you think this film resonates so much, or this documentary, even if we haven't had the experience like you had it?
Yeah, I think it resonates because it's not a political film. I don't bombard you with stats and try to preach to the choir, to say, for lack of a better term. I'm trying to tell you a human story, something that is apolitical, something that transcends politics, in the sense that it doesn't matter if you're on the left or the right. It's just a human story, and it's something that we need to be aware of. I think people are relating to that.